Carl, what's your favorite war?
This
Means
war.
God, we're quick.
Oh, right. Improv classes. Somebody buy them for us. my name's Carl.
My name's Oscar.
This is Who Would Watch This mini episode.
Little mini.
Oh,
Little cheeky little mini.
little ones. You know when you're like, oh god, I hope I get a big chocolate Easter egg, and then boom,
You get those
a little mini.
chalky one. When's this coming out?
It's
Easter
not
still-
near Easter, but we're in the season.
Let's cover the holidays. I hope it's around Santa. You know when Santa gives you a little present, okay? Burning through. Halloween. You know when you get a little pumpkin?
You know when you get a little Kwanzaa, but you wanted a big Kwanzaa.
You know when you're Jewish and you get a little candle with the 7 things? Yep.
Yep.
All right.
You know when
It's your birthday and you get small
that's
presents.
right.
And no one loves you.
It's topical because it was just your birthday.
It was, and I'm just relating to what just happened to me. Carl, we're talking about This Means War.
Because I think now we're talking about you.
Listen, okay.
And we're talking about how you're doing.
I'm not paying you money to do that. We pay someone else to do that. Let's get into This Means War.
You're not paying me money to do this either.
Carl, we both watched this pretty recently. I remember we were scrolling Netflix, hungover, and we were like, oh, we need something to watch. And I remember it like hovered on This Means War for too long, and we're like,
Fuck it.
fuck it.
We do this a lot.
Yeah.
Where we're like, fuck it.
Fuck it. Hopefully it becomes an episode. And luckily it does.
It did.
I watched this before, so now I've watched it twice, which is more than the director.
I saw this in cinemas.
God fucking damn it. You have a problem. Have you ever resolved this problem?
If people haven't worked out I'm homeless and live in a cinema, then I mean...
But it turns into a profitable outcome, and it has
does.
yet to profit.
I just like the cinema. I like watching a movie at the cinema. No matter the reviews or the... the cast was a thing. I think the premise is fun.
War?
So I watched this.
I'm a pacifist, so
I'm a big fan of, This Means War.
yeah.
This Is Us. This Is the End.
I like statements.
Yeah,
I like certainties.
I know, right? I would like all titles to actually begin with this. I would rather like, this is the power of the dog,
Yeah.
or like this, Belfast. This is the death on the Nile. This is Dune. I would just like, I really want.
It just makes it easier when you're trying to scroll. It's like, oh, that's it.
Oh no, I think the biggest downfall of that new Batman movie is it's not called This.
Batman.
This
the
Batman.
This
This
Batman.
Question mark?
It's the Riddler. Or is it just a question?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
The next one's called the Batman 2 question mark. It's like,
This
ugh.
Batman 2?
Where's
T-O-O.
brackets? I think the Joker's in this one.
Movie titles should be more spot on.
I feel like all titles should have more punctuation in them and more just leading questions to statements.
God, I love a statement. Anyway, let's discuss this monstrosity of a sexist, uncomfortable, vile movie. That's right, I don't like this at all.
No.
And I always thought it was fine from when I watched it in a cinema because I would have been fairly young.
Mm.
But man, when we watched it the other day, this was intolerable.
It's painful. I remember watching it. I remember
intolerable.
watching it also in high school, and I remember the ending was the thing that really annoyed me. And then rewatching it, I'm like, oh, they didn't earn that. They definitely did not earn
Absolutely not.
that. No.
It's a confusing mess of a movie.
Yeah,
Shall we go through it?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
Let's establish what we got.
Okay, so you're Chris Pine.
Yeah.
He fucks.
He fucks.
You know?
Anything with a pulse, he fucks. That
He
shit.
does. I've seen never take that man to a zoo. I'll tell you right now, he's done things to penguins you never want to see.
No,
I've seen him chase down a hyena. But
Yeah.
he chased the hyena.
he fucking got his bit. He just fucking bit into it.
Absolutely.
Didn't even fuck it. Just ate the whole thing.
No, this guy kills for sport. He fucks, but he kills for sport. That's that's
He's a
defining
versatile
trait.
actor and a character.
I think it's wild that they're like, oh, we'll get two defining people. We'll get Chris Pine, he's the one who fucks, and then they're like, oh, we'll get Tom Hardy. He doesn't fuck.
He doesn't
and I'm like,
fuck.
you're telling me Tom Hardy doesn't fuck? That's a lie.
Yeah, it wasn't even like in his scrawny like era, which is scrawny's like with a big like.
Yeah, no,
hang on.
scrawn.
Yeah,
In capitals.
yeah. He can fuck you up. pretty
Oh,
much.
absolutely right. He's tiny,
But
though,
they're like,
I'm pretty
he's
sure.
no way. How tall's Tom Hardy?
I reckon Tom Hardy's like. I mean, he's probably the same height as like Tom Holland. I reckon he's like under 6 foot. I reckon he's
all the Toms. Are the
all
same
the
height.
Toms are
when they're made in the
tiny.
factory.
They're made in little Tom factories.
When you get,
I reckon
it's
under
either,
6
it's
foot.
either GPS or a TomTom factory.
And GPSs are small.
Oh, that's cruel. He's my height. That's mean.
How high are you?
I'm this height. You have to Google.
See, it's pretty spot on. He's nearly the same height as Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He's 0.02 meters taller than him. What's that? 20? So we don't have to do math on the podcast.
No, we can do math. Here's the thing. They kissed. Tom would have to go a little bit on his tippy toes, but he could make it with just standing on barefoot.
True, right. I think it would be fun if in all movies they made Tom Holland get on his tippy toes to kiss.
Yeah.
I reckon all movies he should be shot just slightly lower than everyone.
Tom Cruise is also small.
He's tiny. That's why I thought we were doing the Tom joke.
Yeah.
All the Toms are tiny.
Yeah.
What's another Tom?
Tom Hanks, but I think he's a.
Type in Tom Hanks.
I think
Let's
Tom-
find out the height of Tom Hanks.
I don't know why I got rid of the Tom. I could just have got rid of the. Okay, that's an average man.
That
That's
is
a
an average
6 foot man.
Tom Brady, throw him in there. I reckon he's like 3 meters.
Yeah. That's how he gets the ball. He gets through the legs. Oh, he's very tall.
Oh, he's nearly 2 meters.
Yeah, goodness. I mean, I don't know why surprised.
Still shorter than me.
Yeah. Fuck off.
It's a visual medium. People don't need to
You
know
just
my
brought
height.
up this film so you go, God, you're small and God, I'm tall.
It's a fun game. We're razzing. We love razzing.
How tall's tall girl? Oh, is she taller than you?
She's meant to be the same height as Tom Brady. He's not that tall.
No, she's shorter than Tom Brady by a whopping the difference between Tom Hardy and Tom Holland's chin.
Okay.
You guys can work out the math at home. Get a pen and paper.
Find out how tall Girl 2 is. Because she grows between films, right? Isn't that the plot?
I'm pretty sure she gains a meter. She shrunk?
What's the graphic?
There's Tom Cruise, 5'6".
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, 4'8".
Yeah. Tall girl, 6'2".
An elephant, 10 foot 5, and a T-Rex, 12 foot. Good for
Is
it.
the scaling off?
Terribly. Oh, wait, no. No, it's not. It's just that they picked pictures of just...
They're
Danny
weird,
DeVito.
they're weird stances.
Yeah.
Especially the T-Rex.
Yeah.
This is fun for all of us.
Yeah.
Again, we need to stop going into a visual medium.
Here's the thing. Google at home. I want you to, whenever you listen to this, pause what you're doing. And I know normally podcasts are in the background. No, this is an exercise.
Go back to the image if it's still up there. Yeah, okay. Hang on. Click on this top bit at the top. No, up here. Click on this. All right. If you want to know what we're talking about, please go to https://www.google.com/search $Q = tall girl plus 2 height and ZRL equals 1C1CHBF_EN dash capital GBAU7 4AU47 and UF. I'll get closer. SXRF equals capital A, capital P, Q dash capital B, capital W, V, 3P7-7, capital N, CU. Wait, does it go past this section?
Oh, yeah, it goes on.
Oh, I'm not
fucking
continuing
miles.
this bit.
No,
I'm not continuing this
I
bit.
knew that, and I was happy for you to
No,
keep it.
I'm
I'm
not-
also cutting the star of your bits.
No,
you don't
no.
get anything.
No. What
You
was-
wasted your time.
Capital G, capital B dash.
Just making it up. He's making it up. Let's get into This Means War. We got Chris Pine. He fucks. Tom doesn't fuck.
Yeah, very simple.
Due to the
Tom's
height.
divorced.
Yes.
Chris isn't. He's a playboy.
He's a playboy. You can't nail it down this bachelor.
You got Reese with a spoon.
Yeah.
From such classics as Home Again. Was she in Home on the Range?
She was at home.
Home Alone.
Yep. She was the plane ticket.
With John Candy. Okay.
So pretty much these boys are spies.
Yeah.
It's a weird one because it's like, let's break genres. It's a spy film, but also like a romantic comedy.
But none of it's done well.
No.
That's what's fun. Is
Yeah.
they're like, oh, the action's not as good as an action movie, and the romance isn't as good as a romance movie. You're being given half of both. So, half a film.
Lap it up. Lap it up.
Like a cat.
They're trying to hunt down WMDs in Hong Kong. So that's a fun way to start a rom-com action film.
pretty
They
good.
kill the main guy. His brother's like, I'm going to avenge you. And then the film's like, right, okay, that's enough action for now. Let's get into
Let's put
the
this on
romance.
pause for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember who I saw this with at the time. My girlfriend turned to me and she went, oh, that's a lot of action. And I said, who are you? I didn't bring you here. I'm watching this alone. What are you on about?
That's Reese Witherspoon, believe it or not. She would go to cinemas and go, oh, a lot of action. I hope there's some rom-com to soften the blow.
Crossing her legs. I know this movie seems pretty cool, if you ask me.
You a reviewer? No? Okay. How'd I
she's
go?
like, I'm out of here.
I have a podcast in a couple of years. She's like, call me when you're famous.
She's like, I'm not interested. Any of these cinemas showing Sing 2? I'm about to sing Firework.
Anyway, so they're pretty much like, right, stop the action. Boys, to make sure that this Hong Kong guy doesn't get you, we're going to put you in an office so you can be boring office people, but you're still spies.
They get desked.
They get desked.
That's what they get. They get desked. And then basically, Tom Hardy's like, I'm going to go out. I'm gonna go out and about.
He's like, I'm gonna push. This is a really sad tale. His like divorced wife is like, it's kind of off, but it's like a very like a modern sort of divorce. Just like, listen, we fell out of love, but we're doing it for the kid. It's kind of keeps that tone. It's like we shouldn't get back together, but we're doing it for the child.
I don't want to be mean to Tom Hardy's kid, but that kid's a loser.
Karate.
I'm putting it out there right now. That kid's that's like,
imagine doing karate and losing at karate.
God. Me? When I did karate. Oh, I got my yellow tips. I'm good enough now.
Oh, you did yellow? I got my white belt.
Yeah.
And then the first lesson I went to,
Yeah.
I was doing the punching shit. And like the sensei came up to me and goes, you gotta scream when you say fist bump. I said, mother, I never want to go back here again and unenroll me in karate. I'm done with that. The man shouted at me to shout, and I'm just not ready for that at this time.
You're like, enroll me in stamp collecting. It's next door.
Yeah.
It's much calmer.
There's no...
Except when you went there, like, when you force the stamp down, you gotta shout. And you were like,
ah!
And you were like, Mom, take me away.
Take me away. I want just a noiseless activity. She's like, what about podcasting? Like, don't you fucking tempt me. But anyway, yeah. So it's a sad relationship. He's doing it for the kid, but he's like, maybe I'll go out and date.
He's like, maybe one of these times I'll run into a woman.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he runs into a woman.
Yeah.
Her name's Reese Witherspoon.
Yep.
That's her name in the film.
Yeah.
The
The film's like, it's a woman.
the
okay?
film gets pretty lazy. It's
Yeah.
like, it's Reese.
Yeah.
So she works for like making home goods flammable or something.
I looked up the actual job because they're kind of like she's in her stuff. She's a product testing engineer.
Cool, good for her.
Yeah.
She's walking around. She runs into Tom Hardy. They get along. So they're like, hey, let's go on a date sometime.
And we can agree here that they get on better.
They get on really well.
Really well.
I think they get on really well.
Because Tom Hardy's a sensitive man, and I think she respects that. I
Yeah.
think they get on well. I think they complete each other.
Absolutely.
Get each other out of the comfort zones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, Reese Witherspoon, Tom Hardy is like how we get along.
Yeah,
Perfectly.
exactly.
Could you imagine these two having a podcast?
Oh god, it'd be
It'd be awful. It'd be just as boring as us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hear that. Actually, you know what? No,
I'd kill for Tom Hardy and Reese Witherspoon. That'd be top of the chart. What are we talking about? Who wouldn't listen to that? They have so many interesting stories. We had a karate. That's all we had. Imagine going on to fucking Graham Norton.
I
just
read
like,
out a URL for this episode.
Scraping. That was a highlight. I'm putting it in the reel.
Oh my god, that should be a clip on YouTube. People would love it. But then Chris Pine's going to a video store.
Chris Pine has no issues. Just by the way, he has no problems. He's life's sick.
His suits are so tailored to him. He's going fine.
Yeah.
So he's going to a video store. So does Reese.
Yeah.
He starts hounding her for
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
What movie are you gonna watch? What
She's
are you
like,
gonna
I'm
recommend?"
not interested. I'm kind of fine. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna stand in front of the videos. And
Yeah.
that's-
He basically takes a date. He's
Yeah.
like, cool, I will meet you at this point at this time. But she's like, oh, I like his moxie.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, but I don't know. The other one was really nice and lovely.
This film
and
isn't for the nice
caring.
guys. Nice guys finish last, and this means
Yeah.
war.
This means war is against nice guys.
Yeah.
You know,
We
it's
just-
against Tom Hardy.
Exactly.
I know.
It's funny positioning Tom Hardy as the meek, like, oh, why don't women like me? But she's like, I'm not into you. I'm gonna leave. Chris Pine's like, I'm gonna stalk you.
Yeah,
like
I'll get you
follow
back
you
up.
out the cinema. There's no way that will go end well.
Yeah. And so basically, she agrees to go to a date.
Because the only reason why is because her ex-boyfriend walks up.
Yep.
And she's like, kiss me. I don't want to be like seen as single and sad. He's like, my time to shine. She's vulnerable.
She's like, oh, wait a minute, that was my ex-boyfriend, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's him there. And she just does it for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think you're coming on to me.
What are we? I don't know. What is this? What is this?
Do you want to meet my dad? I don't know.
But yeah, because he's pretty much gone like, I gave you a favor, kissing me. So now you owe me a favor.
I hate
like,
the relationship.
"Oh,
It's
fuck."
gross.
It is gross.
It's gross. Anyway, so they're like, Chris Pine and Tom Hardy are like, oh,
They're happy at their desk.
We're having fun at our desks.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the nice young lady we both met yesterday? And they're like,
squeeze.
you excited to use that word,
I
squeeze?
I wrote it down. Squeeze.
The two show their new squeeze, and uh-oh, they're going for the same woman.
This is fun because this is a fun
This is good. This works.
This works because essentially the film goes right. Anything that like Tom Hardy did for the film, they're gone. We're thrown out the window. I do love this. They're gone. All right. Well, we've got desk jobs, but we do work at the CIA. So let's just fucking take all the military and like NSA equipment and bug this girl's house.
Yeah, they're like, hey guys, well actually we need all that stuff. We're invading Iraq and we need all the funding and technology we can have. And they're like, oh sorry, we're following our new squeeze.
Osama bin Laden? No, different squeeze.
They do some pretty horrific stuff.
They do.
They just like they cam her house. They
This
break
is weird,
in at the
it's
same
weird
time.
as well because it's not just them; it's like a team.
Yeah.
So I don't know who.
They're putting government money
Yeah.
onto making
Imagine this coming out in the tax. Imagine the taxpayer found out that their like taxes.
No person would win.
No.
Like it would also make both of them look bad.
Yeah.
And honestly, and you know what the media would do? They'd blame the woman.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Well, she egged them both on.
She was asking for it.
She was asking.
She went to a video store. Well, and Chris Pratt. Yeah, ridiculous.
You're asking to be recorded in your own home and bugged if you go to a video store in 2021.
That's how it works.
Anyway, so
But they just like cock blocking. So essentially, they set up all the spy equipment. They get information about Reese, and they trickle it into her dating life because she's like. To her best friend, she's like, all right, well, which one do I...
Oh, do we get onto her best friend?
Yeah, let's get into our best friend.
I don't know who came up with the whole, like, who came up with the whole... see, look, there's that fucking loser, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with the whole concept of, like, what if people's friends in rom-coms were horny
messes.
Drunk mums.
I love it. I love it, though. It's
I don't know if that's a signaling of like, so women in the audience are like, that's me up there. Like, is this for?
It's us. It's us. What we're
single
talking about. Just like, oh god, I like being depicted on screen. It feels good for me. I will say this about Euphoria. I'm mixed on it.
What is so? Okay, go on.
It's a good segue. I'm mixed on Euphoria, but the best character by far is like one of the mums who always has a glass of wine, and I just think she's so much fun. When they do the play, she's like, "That's me on screen." I relate to that character. Go on, yeah. This is the comic relief. We got like,
yeah.
what do we think of this as a cliche? I think it works in some.
It works sometimes. I actually think it depends on how good the actress is. You know what? No, because I do think this actress is giving her all.
Yeah.
Her line dialogue's awful.
Yeah.
And not funny, and she's not playing off anyone. It's just her on the phone being like, I'm in a car, but I'm horny. Fuck them both. And you're just like, oh, okay, I guess so then. A lot of it's just like her digging at her husband, being like, you're a sack of lard, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's in the back seat. She's like, I'm sorry. She's just like, God, you never fucking
Looks back
aroused
though
me.
and he's genuinely just no spine, just a real sack of lard. And you're like, I get what she means.
God, he has no. He's just.
She's like, I'm thinking of leaving him. He's spineless, and he's like, man, I'm a puddle.
Imagine literally being spineless.
Yeah,
I guess would you have to commit and just be like,
ooh,
not commit to the lack of the spine.
Whoa, that's what you do. You'd be rocking back and forth. I like to think that if I didn't have a spine, my body would be like one of those wavy armed blow up things.
It would be a good career. It would be funny if you lose a spine and you're like, all right, immediately take out my arm bones. I've got a career in this, and I want you to blow air up my ass, and I'm gonna make some good coin.
Should we change Chris's name to Chris Pine?
What do you mean change his name?
Because do you know how it's Chris Pine at the moment?
Yeah.
We change it to Cree Spine. because we're doing spine gags.
That's
at the
good
moment.
because Chris has a spine and Tom Hardy's a coward. He's a filthy little coward.
Tom Hardy's a nice one. Anyway, Oscar, depending on how much editing you feel like doing, Oscar's now going to cut to some of the awful line readings of the horny mum.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I'll commit to that.
Wow, that's
Right?
dirty sex. You know when you know you're gonna have dirty sex and it's gonna stink? Not like sex, I mean like man stink, the good stuff.
Can I just start making demands? Oscar's now going to cut in the sound of a quack. Uh-oh, Oscar's going to now make some sounds of some tumbling plates, let's say.
Tumbling plates.
Yeah, you'll find a way. Get it like a Foley artist would. Work for it.
Here's the thing: I can re-record my voice. I'm gonna grow a spine 6 months later. I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to guarantee you right now, you're going to record yourselves more effort than just getting the plates, getting the sound of the plates.
Anyway, they try and cock block each other for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They tackle each other.
This is, look, as uncomfortable conceptually as the bits are where they're like, let's record her and all that stuff and learn everything about her. This is probably the fun part where they're like actually at
This
war.
is the meat. This is the meat. 'Cause This
Yeah.
is pretty much like, all right, well, the second act, because essentially like the second act's going to end when she finds out that they're spies and doing this shit to her. So we've got like, it's like 10 to 20 minutes of just this kind of shit. I feel like it's a montage. It might be explored, but
Yeah. It feels like this is the trailer. Like it's like the first act and then the trailer plays and you're like, oh, that's what I was sold. And then it goes to the third act. I do remember Tom Hardy has the better date.
Tom Hardy's the obvious choice.
Yeah.
It's weird that they're going off this sort of like, oh, who would she pick? Because it should be Tom Hardy.
It should be Tom Hardy.
Or none of them, at least.
Oh, that'd be also good. She should choose her horny friend.
Yeah, exactly.
She
it's
needs,
a powerful
she needs
story.
to be loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially the whole film, I think, is leading up to Tom Hardy. It's weird because he's got an ex-wife, but I think he's getting over it. But then Chris Bryan is like...
The ex-wife hasn't been acknowledged much through the film at all.
No.
So it's weird that it gets to like... a point where the ex-wife matters now.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay.
So anyway, the third act starts. Chris,
they're getting chased.
well, like, what's it called? Reese and her horny girl friend find out. And as they find out, they get abducted by the Hong Kong people.
Even the horny friend gets abducted?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. Reese is in a car and we get a car chase.
Is the horny friend the car?
She's the car. She transforms.
It's the car the horny John Cleese from Pluto Nash?
Was he horny? I remember him just being sad.
Yeah.
I remember his tale was that he got left on the moon to rust forever.
I don't know, it sounds horny to me.
That's a good fucking wank, baby. We get a chase. The car chase. I have nothing to add. It is passable at best.
It's just kind of grays.
Yeah.
I will say though, why are there so many highways unfinished in America? I was just like, this ends on an unfinished highway. But it seems like if you're in LA, you'll find an unfinished highway anywhere you go.
And it seems like 3 cones are stopping that thing.
Oh, absolutely. There's no signs to be like, this highway's unfinished. It's like, you better be slowing down by the time you even get a sniff that there's some cones in front of you. Like,
How terrifying would it be the house underneath an unfinished highway?
oh my God, I guarantee you, if I was to ever buy a house, I bet my luck I would be directly under the one panel they don't finish.
Constant you hear about buses not being able to stop. You're like, God damn it, it's the day. I'm dying by a bus crashing.
Speed's
on my
happening again. On a bus. All right, let's pack up the kids. That one can go to college. We'll save him. The rest of you stay.
Stay. Here's an Xbox. I'm taking the Xbox. Just stay and play with the flower. I don't know. Anyway, the car happens. So pretty much what happens is the establishment is Reese they're both on the edge of the highway.
Yep. Chris Pine's to the left.
Tom Hardy to the right.
Reese dead in the middle.
She has to make a decision.
I don't know how they ended up in these 3 positions being thrown from a car.
It's crazy. They're thrown and then just we're up and ready to go.
Uh-oh, we all landed in different areas.
But at the edge of... Have you ever tried chucking... Have you ever played that coin where you chuck a coin on the table and try and get it to land as close as you can?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they've done with 3 major actors and then gone, right, we're filming a scene.
No stunts either. No stunt people. Tom Hardy was like, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
find me an unfinished highway. It's one above my house right now.
Kids are down there.
But now a car's racing towards her on fire, perhaps?
On fire, the guy's been shot, and
Yeah.
Reese is like, who? Which one? I don't really get this. Because it's like symbolizing like her choice of boyfriend. I feel like in this is fight or flight, just like...
Oh yeah, you would just pick a side.
Yeah.
I think it would have been fun had she jumped to Chris Pine's side and been like, no, I needed to survive. And then goes over and kisses Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that's what I thought was happening. I was pretty annoyed.
She shouldn't be picking she shouldn't be picking Chris Pine.
No.
Tom's the choice.
Tom's a choice.
Tom.
He's a sweetheart. He's a gorgeous man.
Oh, God.
And he's just left. And the film... And then they're just like... It's like a year later, and like Chris Pine and Reese are happy. They're driving a convertible. They're both spies now.
I guarantee they're not happy.
No.
At no point in the whole film did they seem like a couple that would work.
No, not in the slightest.
Toxic. He's cheating on her instantly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I reckon he's turning her into a housewife too. He's taken away her independence.
Yeah. She was an engineer. He's
Yeah.
gone, you're going to stay at home.
Oh.
Tom Holland. Tom Holland.
I mean, that's the same height.
Yeah, Tom Hardy wouldn't do that. But Tom Hardy gets this sad thing. He kind of like goes back to the karate match. I think the son wins, but it's not a good win.
The son's just a loser.
Kind of like Karate Kid, he gets like disqualified. But yeah, the girl is like ex-wife's like, want to get dinner? Nothing romantic. Just we should chat about the divorce. You owe a lot in settlement. And you're like,
Yeah, she's just like, hey, you want to open this letter? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And she's like, you have been served.
you have been served.
You have been served.
I do
I'll
apologize.
see you in court.
It ends on a weird note of like,
Nobody's happy. And I guess nobody's happy in war.
no.
No sides win. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Oh my
It's
God.
we can't do the movie now. It's
Oh,
actually
actually, that's
good.
really clever.
It's actually really good.
That actually is clever. Holy shit. Not
Wow.
always the one that needs to win wins. And
Wow.
what is history's written by the victors.
Oh my
Chris
God.
Pine wins. He gets to write out the whole thing.
my God.
Oh my God.
Who would watch this?
You genius.
Who would watch this? Steven Spielberg. Join us next week when we review.
Oh my God. This is like, this is a powerful film.
Should have been shown this in film school.
Oh, yeah.
Should have been shown this in writing school.
War school. Just all the schools.
This school.
That's powerful. Oh my God. I did not even think of that. McGenius right there.
McG, you done
God,
it again.
Okay, a big recommend, I think. Who would watch this?
Huge recommend.
Every single person in education, get your hands on This
You
Means
thinking
War.
of trying to write a script? Boom! You watch this means war. Oh God! Wow! What
Wow,
a shocker.
it makes all war films seem like shit.
It does.
Honestly.
Saving Private Ryan. Who needs it?
Who needs it?
Hurt Locker. Who needs it?
Zero Dark 30? Who
Needs it. I guess that's all the war films.
That's all the war films we got.
Apart from this one, The
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle. Wow, I can't believe they did it in 2012.
Oh my God! You really think they would have perfected it earlier? I guess not.
No. I mean, they've only been happening for a while.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Who would watch This Means War? It's a product of its time. I don't know who's revisiting this.
Product. Yeah, I guarantee. I reckon I have a good one.
Yeah.
Ask me.
Carl, who would watch This Means War?
Fans of Nicholas Sparks movie adaptations.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bit shallow.
There is
Kinda-
just like a group of movies that's like The Vow, Safe Haven, that I'm just like, those movies I very much think are for a crowd, and I bet that crowd had also went and saw This Means War at the cinema.
Why is Nicholas Sparks The Notebook?
Yeah.
Why does that one kind of shine out? Is that directed by someone like in particular?
No,
Or is it's just a bit cult, like just like
I think that one, it's the first one.
Yeah.
It's the least, even though it's schmaltzy, it's probably the least schmaltzy.
Gotcha.
Like, The Vow is pretty schmaltzy, but man, that Safe Haven movie. We should probably do that on the podcast.
Let's do a Nicholas Sparks month.
No,
Valentine's next month.
should we actually?
Yeah,
I think
we
a
should
Nicholas
definitely
Sparks one would
That
go
would-
well. Oh my
yeah.
God, what an idea! Can put it in the diary.
I'll put it in the diary.
Put it in the
right now.
diary now. Speaking of the diary, you can join us next week when we do a full episode of the fantasy children's film, The Golden Compass.
Oh, you don't need a compass to point where you'll be listening to it.
And you don't
Yeah.
need a compass to be picking whether or not we recommend it.
I don't know what a compass is. I don't know what I can't add to this joke. I don't know what it is. I don't know what tool it does. The fuck's north?
I don't know what gold is.
Yeah, it fucking looks like it.
Ew.